Let's go!
Walking down the street.
Wah.
Wow, wow, wow. There we are. Fingers are very shaky. I don't know which buttons I'm pushing.
I don't know. Welcome back, friends.
Hi.
So, to jump into football news, we received an email from someone named Georgie.
Hi, Georgie.
This email reads, "Hi, Andrew, or Kata, or Nick, or Mike, and everyone else in the UFR blogosphere."
We're a potosphere, but okay.
It's just a lot. Just a lot of people cohabit the mics on this show. CBS Sports posted a photo on Instagram that blew my mind. The complete circle of parity. It's a thing of beauty, but it got me wondering, how often does this happen? Looking forward to some stats, Georgie.
All right, Georgie. I had to look this up because I didn't know what this was. So I got on the Instagram and just so the audience can see, Andrew's going to tell us a little bit about this phenomenon, but I just wanted to post, courtesy of CBS Sports, this was the Instagram that they posted about, 24 hours ago.
Yeah. Okay, so you know the phrase, any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday.
Yes.
That's like the whole idea behind the NFL. Basically, what happens is in this circle of parity, you have all the teams that are listed around in a circle. And it's basically the idea that one team has beaten the team ahead of it, and that team has beaten the team ahead of it, and that team has beaten the team ahead of it, and so on and so on and so on, all the way around the circle.
Okay.
And because the Bengals defeated the Jets on Sunday for their first win of the year, we now have a complete circle of parity, because the Bengals, the previously winless Bengals, have beaten a team, and a team, has beaten the Bengals, because everybody's beaten the Bengals this year. Basically, every team in that order of the circle has beaten every other team. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, I was curious about this as well, because this is the first time that I had ever seen something like this, and I was wondering, okay, how often does something like this come about? And it's quite frequent, what I found.
Okay.
Actually. And it appears to me that the only time where it doesn't really happen is where we have a team that doesn't win any of its games or doesn't lose any of its games. So,
okay.
Like, in recent memory, like the 3 years where we didn't have a circle of parity is where you had the Browns in 2015 or 2017 lose all 16 of their games. The Lions in 2009 where they lost all their games, and the Patriots in 2007 where they won all of their games. That's a difference. But aside from that, it's been pretty much every year,
So you have written here on our notes here, parity, the definition of parity is when participating teams have roughly equivalent levels of talent.
Yes, that's parity in a sports context.
Yes. Okay. I want to, and for our viewers, I want to pull up this graphic again because I think it's so...
I'm going to have this up too. Give me one sec.
Yeah. So you mentioned, of course, the frequency of it. It happens quite often.
Yeah, there was one last year. There was one last year. There was one in not 2017, 2016, 15, 14, 13, and 12, as far as I saw.
I guess I'm wondering, first of all, what's the point?
The point, I feel like, is to give this idea that any team can beat any team on any given Sunday. Or to express this idea that every team is beatable.
Right.
You know?
Sure. Okay. So looking again, I mean, it's just, look, I get it. It's cool and all and great. Like the Bengals beat the Jets, whatever. There are ways to complete the circle. I guess there's an argument also that can be made that this circle can kind of be swapped out. Like,
how do you mean swapped out?
Like say, this isn't a good example off the top of my head, but like say you could put, well, not this year, but just say like Green Bay and the Lions. Like, what if you swapped them out because the Lions, had they beat the Vikings, which they did not, but and then Green Bay beat the Giants. I mean, this could be refreshed and refurbished probably a few more times throughout the course of this year.
Sure, but the pairing that has to happen, the three in a row that have to happen, or not the three, the two in a row that have to happen, are the Bengals beating the Jets, for sure.
Right.
That one is
And the Ravens beating the Patriots.
well, yeah. I mean,
That's there as
as
well.
of Sunday, you could also have the Texans beating the Patriots as well.
Right, yeah, okay.
I feel like we're about to establish our own circle of parity on this show right now. Okay, so
I'm just leaving this graphic up for the rest of this segment
that's
so that everyone
totally
can
fine
see.
with me, so everybody can see what the hell we're talking about.
But
'Cause it's a very visual form as well as like us trying to explain what the hell this is.
Yeah, but for the listeners, underneath each team you have
The score
The
that
score.
each team that the winning team won by.
right. But then there's also, okay, I understand, but what if, okay, and we started to kind of touch on this before the show and we were discussing that we were going to talk about this. So say you have a team, they have won 2 games
Right.
and lost every other game,
Okay.
but what if the 2 games that they won was against like the same team? Then it doesn't,
Well, it would be a win against one team.
okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter if it were 2 wins. Say the Patriots went 2-14 and they beat the Dolphins both times, like that. Like that's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't matter because that's still a win for the Patriots over the Dolphins. It still goes with the circle of parity.
It's such a weird concept to me.
The NFL and sports in general are so full of these weird concepts. And
Okay.
I can't believe that we've had one of these pretty much every year, and I have not. This is the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this before. Does this happen in other sports?
It
There's
does.
no way
You know,
it
it's
can.
funny. Okay, I read a Wikipedia article on it, and I just want to read a little bit of that to you. Parity in sports. Okay, so I'm just going to read this paragraph really quick.
Okay.
Many consider the NFL to be the most, quote, fair, end quote, or competitive league with many teams having a chance to win each year. In the NFL, complete parity would be a state on any given Sunday, any given team can win any given game. The illusion of parity, which is the important part, the illusion of parity in the NFL may be somewhat of a misconception, given that several teams such as the Patriots, Steelers, and Packers have appeared in the playoffs in almost all of the last 10 years, while a team such as the Cleveland Browns have had a playoff drought that is currently over a decade long. The most important thing to remember is that a franchise can be struggling, and the reason for it can be due to the team's ineptitude when it comes to evaluating talent, coaching strategies, developing players, and having a good organizational structure and overall team and player operations.
So I guess for true, it's almost like parody is such a like an ephemeral concept, but like I guess then while the circle does exist right now, for true parody to be what we're looking for is a more equal division of talent.
I think true parity in the NFL is an equal division of championships. I think that might be what we're looking for.
Wait, why championship? Because it's every year. It's a year.
I know, and this is in the regular season. There are multiple reasons why teams lose games in the regular season.
Right.
You know, it could be due to injured players. It could be due to teams. I don't know. It could be due to any friggin' thing. It could be due to a team with bulletin board material. You know, it could be the other team's head coach wears a shirt that says Pittsburgh started it, and then Pittsburgh goes out and wins the game because they're playing with that mental edge. I think true parity comes from overall league success.
Okay, I hear you.
A team that finishes 15-1 and a team that finishes 1-15 do not have equal parity.
No.
Not even if those teams not even if the 1-15 team beat the 15-1 team.
Right, and even if they do fit into the circle of parity, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is parity. That's why I'm confused. Just because it's almost like this circle of parity that we're looking at now. It shows something about. It says something about a league being of equal winningness that is not true.
Right. Do you believe that parity exists in the NFL today?
No.
Based on that definition? No?
No, not at all.
Okay, I agree with you. I don't think so either. The fact that the Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls in 18 years, that's not parity to me.
Right. It just, I don't know, it just seems like a really messy concept. Like, it's cool and all. It makes for a really spiffy graphic. I don't find it I don't even really find it that particularly mind-blowing. I mean, particularly because now we know that it happens every year.
Mm-hmm.
Does it typically happen by, like, this time? Like, a little bit more than halfway through the season?
Last year's happened on Christmas.
Oh, okay. So it took a while.
The earliest, mathematically, that it can happen is week 3. Although it's never happened in week 3, because it's very uncommon for us to be out of undefeated teams by week 3.
Right.
You know?
Right.
The talent level on some teams is just so good that, you're going to have teams that win 3 games.
But I feel like I feel like then that's the thing. True parity would be achieved if by week 3 there was a circle of parity.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
Like I'm getting very like
no, that's cool.
guru
Yeah,
like on you, but like
good.
that's I feel like that's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah. True parity would be if after week 3 you have 16 teams that are 2-1 and 16 teams that are 1-2.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's fascinating. Parity would be like you have 16 teams that are 9-7 and 16 teams that are 7-9.
Right, which is obviously, as we know, just not the case this year. There are good teams and there are bad teams, and then there are the teams that are just kind of trudging on through.
Right.
Playing the fair game.
If you had...
Not tanking for not Tua.
Okay, so if you had... Hear me out. On a scale, right? 16 teams in the AFC, 16 in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
If you had one team in each conference that was 15-1, 14-2, one is 13-3, one's 12-4, 11-5, all the way down to... I should say 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 16-0 all the way down to 0-16. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Would you call that parity?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Even on a scale?
Because I think the whole point of parity is equitable...
An equitable win share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the graph... I mean, you can't make the graphic, you can't make the circle unless people are...
Because that that would complete the circle. Sorry, 15-1 all the way to 1-15.
Right.
That would complete the circle.
It would, but it's also by the way, that's not the way that the schedule is organized.
No, that's right. It's not.
Boom.
Main point. The circle of parity exists when you have every team that has at least one win and every team has at least one loss.
Right. So that's what we've learned by this very confusing graphic. Thank you, CBS Sports, for. I wouldn't even say you're blowing our minds. I'd say you're just
making our brains hurt.
Yeah, like that really just, wow.
Wow, we got really, like...
That got, like, kind of existential.
It did get existential.
I don't really know what to do with myself. Like, I feel like I need to go and, like, get smacked with some bay leaves or something. I don't know what's going on, but that was really, really stressful.
The rest of this Wikipedia article goes on to say that an example of disparity in sports is, one example is Portuguese Liga, which is the Portuguese soccer league.
Sure.
3 different clubs have accounted for 75 of the 77 championships in league history. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
53 Super Bowls and 3 teams have combined for all 3.
But that's okay, this is, you know what? Here's what.
Hit me.
I'm going to tell you what.
Okay, go.
This graphic is stupid. And you know why? No. This is because here's the thing. If this all-knowing Wikipedia article is going to tell us that...
It's not all-knowing.
Okay.
All
Hey.
right.
If this article is going to tell us that it is... That parity is based on, like, championships and not seasons, then that's the circle of parity I want to see. I want to see a circle of parity that is NFL championship winners. Teams that beat each other in the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see.
Well,
we don't have that yet.
Right. Okay,
we don't have it yet.
Yes, I
so
agree with you on that.
So what the fuck is this?
Just on a regular season basis.
It doesn't make any sense. It's useless.
Teams beat teams in the regular season for a variety of different reasons. And if you put them in a playoff type situation where everything really mattered 100% of the time, I'm sure that we probably wouldn't have a circle of parity. Because, there are teams that are just gonna lose because the talent level isn't there.
I don't understand why I'm angry now, and I'm angry because
This is what we want. This
is
great.
I don't understand why.
By the way, thank you, Georgie, for sending in this what turned out to be a very divisive email.
No, thank you, Georgie. I'm very frustrated right now, and because here's the thing, like this makes I feel like this makes a world of sense for other sports. But why are we doing this right now? I don't understand the purpose. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't tell us anything about the league. It just tells us, oh, like, cool.
No. To people that don't know the league, it could say, oh, look, every team's won a game. Every team's beaten every other team.
So?
Exactly right. Well, to us, who know more about the league, exactly right. That's the question that it poses. Is it so? Who cares? Because when you look deeper at it, there are good teams and there are bad teams. The Jets are fucking awful. The Jets are terrible.
I mean,
who cares that the 1-11 Bengals beat the Jets?
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You know, and you know what? Let's take a look at it one more time, folks.
Pull it up. Yep.
All right, let's do this here.
All right.
The Giants beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They suck. Says nothing about the Giants. The Giants suck and the Buccaneers suck.
Yeah, but
who cares?
If you look into the score of that game, you know the story of that 32-31 win. That was the Daniel Jones coming out party. That game.
I understand. Fine.
Yeah.
I want the blurby. I want the click through. What happened on this game? The exciting things. Blah blah blah. Let's see here. The Chiefs beat the Raiders. Okay.
Yeah, that happened on Sunday.
Cool.
Where they put up 40 points against the Raiders because Derek Carr doesn't know how to throw a football.
Well, no. This one is 28-10.
Oh, that was earlier in the season.
Yeah, this was earlier. 28-10. There's nothing to say about that.
Yep.
San Francisco beating the Redskins. Big whoop.
The sloppy 9-0 game in the rain. Yeah, I remember that.
This is just this is a divisive move. And I have so much respect for CBS Sports, let me tell you. Tony Romo, my man, great, awesome. I don't understand this. I don't get it. It's pretty. It's real pretty. This is stupid. I hate everything. I'm done.
You want to take a break?
Yes.
All right, cool. We're going to put the graphics away. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about things that might make Kata even more upset, which is fantasy football playoffs.
Oh, God.
And we've got more stuff to talk about. So stick around, take a breath, grab some eggnog, and we'll be right back
I didn't know I was capable of feeling these things today.